What's up, YouTube? I just want to discuss reality with you and love and ultimately self-love. So, I'm stuck with myself and you're probably stuck with yourself. So those are, something that we have in common ultimately. We may view life and the environment in many different ways, through many different lenses, through many different connotations and standards and references, but ultimately we can relate to the fact that I exist within this body and person and consciousness, and you exist within your own. And even though they're polarizations, because they're different, they're very similar just due to the way that they are shaped and sculpted by the things that are around us. So, not trying to turn your mood sour or anybody's mood sour or my mood sour, but I just want to confront some, parts of reality that are not always discussed and cherished and loved and just expressed, and especially vocally and socially and yada yada yada. So I live in North Carolina, the United States, and within the millennial modern masculine thinking of a teenage boy in fucking southern United States, whatever. That really doesn't even matter. I'm just trying to shape your opinion of me a little bit so it, but you can make your own assumption. Life for me is such a great roller coaster, yet even though I enjoy the plunges as we go down and up through the cycles, through the loops, through the moments of challenge and just expression, I get anxious and I get nervous and I get influenced by the things that are around me to act in a particular way. And it's not always positive, it's not always good, and a lot of times it's actually detrimental to the way that I want to behave. And it's nobody's fault except for mine, because I'm stuck with myself. Yet the discipline and the acknowledgement of that is not always easy to implement into action. It's easy for me to think about the things that I want to do, but when it comes down to doing the things that I want to do, it takes a little more out of me and more from me, whatever that means. So I'll give you a few examples so maybe you can relate it. So one thing is the cell phone. Like, I make videos, I try to make art, I try to do poetry, I want to write a book, I want to, love what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I want to draw, I'm very artsy, but I want to do it in a way that is appreciated and acknowledged by others. Like, I do it for myself when I need to, but sometimes I don't do it just for myself. I do it to plant seeds throughout the jungle of this world and potentially influence others to be inspired, because that's what I like to do with my art. Is I want to really articulate and express what, the meaning is behind my intention through the piece, while inspiring others to think, ultimately to think about what I have created, and then maybe through that thought process that they will be able to create something and dilute something of their own, or not dilute, but condensate something of their own expression, which is awesome and great and is what it is. But sometimes it doesn't always work that way, and like, you get almost like you get knocked down, and sometimes you're knocking yourself down. Like, I did it today. So it's a beautiful fucking day. I love Mother Earth and the big old sun that we have upstairs. It's great, feels good. Yet when I wake up in the morning, the indulgence of the convenient factors of my bed, my cell phone, my blankets, my easy, convenient just aspects of my environment that I enjoy indulging in, rather than going outside, sitting in, it's warm, it's sunny, but it's kind of chilly, like sitting in the cold and making a video about something that I don't even really know I want to discuss about, even though I know I need to get something out there, just not because I want you to receive it, but just because I need to express some of these things, or I'm penting them up in my brain. I need to put them outside of myself almost, so I can look at them and interpret them and just fucking digest what I'm doing and objectify what I'm doing, so I can potentially change that, because I'm not always in a good place. Like, I am going through a huge transitional phase of my life. I am making movements in my life that I've never had to. I'm doing a lot of declaration, so I'm having to do things independently, personally, and without any other's opinion, without the codependence, without the the acknowledgement from others. I'm having to just, like, this video, like, no one knows I'm doing it, no one knows I'm making it, blah blah blah. It's just because it's inside me, and it's like a fire burning, and I just need this fuel. I need something. I have to do something, or I'll go bananas. Even if I write in my journal, even if I do anything, I just need to intertangle my thoughts with my actions into something that I can grow like a seed, and just fucking fertilize and water and do whatever I can, so I can eventually be a big old beautiful tree of wisdom. Yet everybody has their experiences in life that are, personal, that lead them to be sculpted to believe and interpret and perceive the way that they do. And I'm a believer of the thought that if I walked in another man's shoes from day one, that I would act like him, just because of the environment. If I was born into another person's body as a baby, and I went through every single experience that they had, all the genetics, all the conditionals, just the same parents, yada yada yada, same environment that they were in, that I would be them, essentially. And what I'm saying with that is, it doesn't really matter, because I'm myself, yet I have a direct stream of influence that I put outwards, that, like, I'm burning outwards, and I just want to use my time and energy, because I don't know how long I'm going to survive. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know, there's so many I don't knows and what ifs and yada yada yada, and you can say, oh, you're going to live forever, Blaze, you're going to be an extension of an echo forever, yada 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 yada. But ultimately, we all live to live, and to kind of avoid death in many ways, and death is a metaphor and an example of change. And I'm all for change. I'm all for development and progression. But when something's working in a synapse and a pattern, and it's kind of like the idea of, if you're sober and you feel good, then what is the point of adding substance to that could potentially change the way that you're acting and you're feeling? Like, I understand that a little bit, but what I'm saying is, usually that's kind of like in my brain, that's kind of more like a metaphor than a real life example. But like, if something's working, why try to change it and try to fix something that's working? You can try to develop and progress something that is great in a positive and constructive way, but trying to just 90-degree change something isn't right, and it doesn't help. So I know this video and this topic and whatever has kind of been all over the place, but I kind of feel all over the place right now, and is what it is. I know that I am very just young, and I don't want to say immature, because I don't think that's the right word, but just a youthful energy right now. I'm like a seed, or like a little baby ass tree. I'm not quite there yet, but I am trying my best to get through all the positives and the negatives and ride the waves without getting too calloused and too numb to what's around me. So it is what it is. I want to make another video, but this one just feels like I'm just spiraling downwards. So love you guys. Be good. Get some sunlight and rah. Oh, another thing is I'm doing a video shirtless because my entire life, this kind of ties in with the topic a little bit, but my entire life I've been a, what's the word? Like low self-esteem, but not really, because I've always acted kind of boldly, but more along the lines of when I looked in my mirror at my physical appearance, I was unimpressed and yada yada yada. And I'm over that in a lot of ways, like, or I wouldn't even be doing this. Like, I walk into stores without a shirt on now, and it's just an example of that. I had a pivotal moment of my life where I was like, that's fucking stupid. I'm gonna just love myself, and especially my physical self. But it's another one of those things that's easier said than done. And so, love you very much.